There is a big cover-up going on with David, but it's not going on inside the courtroom. What if I told you that David or his associates or affiliates or his team might well have actually infiltrated some of the most popular forums online that are currently talking about David? Yes, I'm talking about Reddit. And it might be the case that some of the biggest David subreddits are actually compromised. Now, this is pretty insane, okay, because it kind of reminds me of this video I did a few months ago. I did a video a few months ago I did a lot of videos about Jeffrey Epstein, but I did this one particular video all about how Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were secretly controlling Reddit, and not just a subreddit, but the entirety of Reddit for years. If you didn't know this, Ghislaine Maxwell was actually one of the most prolific Reddit users in history. She was, I believe, the top Reddit account for Karma at one point in history. Go and check that video out if you haven't seen that one, okay? Because it's crazy. But what I'm about to tell you about this David case is very, very alarming, because rumors are now spreading. Okay, and I'm nervous to even put this out there, because obviously I rely heavily on the Reddit for my information. Okay, I do a lot of other digging into different places. People like Ross just reacts to the Reddit. I be looking at police reports, interviews, lyrics, but the Reddit is very important. But rumors are now spreading that inside the biggest investigated subreddit around Dave Idiots, okay, rumors are circulating that something sinister might be going on in here, okay? So here's a recent post, right? So it says, exploitation of Celeste family. I've noticed a trend in the other subreddit, r/DaveIdiots, this is David too, of posting Celeste's intellectually disabled cousin's Facebook posts. Mods are actively deleting comments and banning people for saying anything about it. It's not only immoral and incredibly disrespectful to the grieving family members, but to the victim, who I'm sure would not want her cousin to be exploited like this for Reddit karma. This is not justice for Celeste. Now, I didn't know she was intellectually challenged. I haven't seen any proof of that. I thought the cousin was just speaking out. So I'd like to see some proof of that. It says, I've noticed that I thought I was not the only one. They deleted other users in a comment too. It says, same here. All I said was, as per consensus of the last Wendy post, it's exploitative to keep posting this woman. I had like 10 upvotes and the mods still deleted my comment, gave me a warning for being belligerent or arguing or diagnosing someone, then banned me. So it says, even though, like I said, all the comments on the post before this most recent one were saying the exact same thing, so much so that the mods couldn't delete all the comments and censor everyone, so they had to lock the thread, is the same weirdo every time who keeps posting the cousin too. So it says, they delete posts made about David's family, by the way, even about Neo and Asia. I just find it odd that the current mods joined right after David got arrested. So I'm going to give you some backstory here, okay? So around April of 2026, the creator of r/DaveIdiots, Remy, mysteriously disappeared and deleted their account and the entire post history, right? Accounts deleted, no post history, nothing on there, completely gone. This is Remy Oranga, okay? The creator of DaveIdiots. Bit suspicious. Now, on April the 1st of 2026, right before they disappeared, someone in the subreddit made a post asking why were there suddenly a bunch of new moderators. This is the month David gets arrested. Why are there new mods with 22-hour-old accounts now? Comment removed by moderator. Thanks for the update. Good on you. People were posting videos of Neo's parents' house. I thought that was crazy. Comment removed by moderator. Are you Remy X on Spotify? So these guys are relentless, right? You can ban... There's no way you can silence the Reddit communities that are digging into this, because they will just get round you, right? It says, I see one new mod. Maybe the other guy was being harassed. I hope this will stop the karma farming users who are taking posts from top posts of all time and reposting in their name. I feel like the top posters here should have their research respected, not regurgitated by karma bots. So it says, due to the influx of traffic and new users, posts being reported, Reddit flagging posts, low quality posts cluttering the sub, etc., the owner of the sub decided to add additional moderation. The sub actually even got removed by Reddit once a long time ago due to Reddit's overall rules not being followed. So there's additional mods now to help out and keep the sub up and running. But there's a lot of stuff really suspiciously deleted. Comment removed by moderator, sus. Okay, thanks for getting back to me on it. Sorry for the mix-up. Something odd's going on here. Comments getting deleted. That's the David 2 subreddit. All right. Even now, they're mostly 1 week old and one is 1 month. Hella sus. So, okay. In the archive of the post, we actually get all of the message, which include Remy's deleted responses. Okay. Listen, there's always a way. There's always a way to find out what was hidden on the internet. Okay. So now, all right, we're beginning to see some of the responses that we're missing. What's with the new mods with the 22-hour-old accounts now? It says, I see one mod, maybe the other guy was being harassed. Someone showed a GIF that said, I don't trust it. So it said, due to the influx of traffic and new users, posts being reported, Reddit flagging posts. I think we already read that one, right? There's additional mods to help out. So here's where we get to deleted messages, right? Some may know me as SimComp. I have known Remy since day one of this case. Fun fact, I was one of the first except Remy to post here. Remy, being busy as they are, still needs help weeding out all the blatant misinformation, AI doxing of non-public figures, and personal harassment of other users that goes against the rules. Free speech is still allowed, just don't break the rules, which will be updated shortly to reflect this. Now, this is the biggest David subreddit, okay? And so it's just very interesting, right? I don't support the doxing of anybody. I don't support personal harassment. Blatant misinformation, honestly, like, I think that blatant misinformation is probably not so good. I think people should be able to post their theories, their opinions, that kind of thing. Yes, fake stuff with AI is definitely not the best, not ideal. We shouldn't be using that. We shouldn't be having that if it's not true. But at the same time, let's just hope that these rules aren't then being used to silence genuine discussion, correct information, you know, stuff that actually matters. All right. So it says StraightBit 3122 and Dave Idiot's mod are not only both Remy approved 100%, they are Remy appreciated 1000%. So this Remy account that's deleted now, they're gone, they're nowhere to be seen. They planted mods. They're planting the mods into the subreddit, right? Now I'm annoyed that I can't see that comment. But basically, all right, they're approving of the mods. They approve the mods. It's all up to them. Okay. Now, what's interesting, okay, is if we go to the r/DaveIdiot's moderators, okay, any of the moderators that were appointed that day by Remy are now no longer part of the team. So all of the current moderators for r/DaveIdiots actually joined the team after David's arrest, right? After David's arrest. So David was arrested on the 16th, I believe, of April. I think he was charged on the 20th. Okay, but the arrest took place on the 16th of April. And what's interesting, everybody that's a moderator here joined after David's arrest. Every single one. Interesting, right? Interesting. It's like David's getting charged. Time's going by. A little bit of time's going by. We're in May now. Some of these guys are getting... This guy got appointed yesterday. Ban extended. This guy been a mod for less than a month. All right? So realistically, everybody moderating this subreddit is joined late. And I'm not saying that's necessarily... It's kind of a bad thing. Where's all the people from before David was arrested? Where's all the people that were doing research back when, you know, we wasn't sure if he was even going to get arrested? Well, where were all the people from back when some people were even trying to say that David didn't do nothing wrong? Where are all those people? I think it's really interesting, okay? So the next month, all right, after this whole thing goes down and a bunch of mods are purged and people are saying, why aren't I allowed to post things? What's going on in here? This is the biggest David subreddit. So on May the 8th, 2026, right, another deleted Reddit account named QO basically, opened a Reddit AMA claiming to be David's brother's friend. Now, this is another deleted thread, all right? But this is interesting. It says, AMA, I've been friends with David's brother Caleb online for 2 years. So this was posted to Dave Idiots, right? So a mod said OP provided proof of his relationship with Caleb and has been verified by mods. And people saying all the comments, including the original post, are gone now. Do you know what happened? They're saying OP deleted their posts and comments. Yes, I was asking if you or the mod team had a reason for the deletion. I understand you may not know, though. Where's the oversight? What's going on? All right, what's going on? And I noticed some of this stuff going on when they were talking about Caleb. But, like, why can't we talk about Caleb? So I thought this was quite interesting, right? Let me just fix this. So it said, did David and Caleb ever record a song? And the person actually who made this post was this guy, Kokinox, basically, okay? So this is Kokinox said, I highly doubt it. They became more distant around the time Caleb started making music. And when was that? Around 2023 when David moved. Why do you think they became more distant? Was there jealousy involved? Said it has nothing to do with jealousy. Not only did David move away after blowing up, but he became much more busy. Edit, I just found out he did make a song with David back in December 2022 before they became the most distant. Seems like a joke freestyle of some kind. And I think this is the video of them like just in the studio joking. It's when David says like, I'm gonna kill all my friends like Melly or some shit. He says something like that. This guy says, I guess not a question so much as support. Caleb seems like a good kid going through some of the most horrific family issues imaginable. Can't be easy, and doing so in the public eye must be even harder. The statements distancing himself from his brother's actions show more than courage, ethics, and plain humanity than any other number of adults involved. Releasing music now feels odd, but the trial will take years and years. We don't choose our family, and whenever he releases music between now and forever, he'll take heat. My hope is that the music is evidence of a kid trying to focus on something positive in a dark time. I'm assuming what he says is true. Who knows? But if it is true, I hope he has as good a life possible given these truly dark circumstances. So this is Kokinox replying, saying he really does appreciate the support expressed here and everyone trying to defend him. I'm not going to lie, just in my opinion, the way this person's talking, it sounds like could be cap. I'm not sure I believe it. Like, well, he's really sat there like he really does appreciate the support. You talking too much on behalf of someone, honestly. But it could be true. They said the mods verified it, and then they deleted everything. It said so many big news outlets have posted and made videos about him. I can only imagine how it feels scrolling through a comment section after comment section of people saying stuff like it runs in the family or he looks possessed. It's funny, right? So this person's saying, oh, he must be really going through it with the comment section. You creating and eliciting comment sections, right? So this is just all interesting Reddit activity that's going on that's been covered up. He says, regardless of these comments being made mostly by uneducated, crazy people who don't know him, it can weigh on your mental health and be dehumanizing. I'm so proud of him for saying strong. This is like meant to be his friend, right? And he's on Reddit spilling the beans about all this. I think it's cap, but apparently the mods verified it, the mysterious mods. So he said he saw some of the support people were giving here yesterday. A lot of YouTubers made videos about this subreddit. Uh-oh, that's me. Okay, it says OP was clout chasing the whole time. They may very well know Caleb online since they prove they do, but they really didn't tell us anything at all on here except generic BS. And then OP deletes everything but the post itself. That way people will always see that he proved he was friends with Caleb, but he won't have to stand by his answers publicly. Whole post was a clout chase, right? It says or Caleb contacted him and told him to stop intervening. Except Caleb didn't know he was doing it, supposedly. OP was full of shit. Realized they messed up when I commented about how shitty it was to come talk on here without even telling his friend. Deleted within minutes of me commenting that, okay? It says, tell him to stop making music. It sucks, right? I don't think he got a response. Did he get a response for Kokinox? He said, I've watched him record songs without auto-tune and pitch correct, and his vocal range is insane. He's really talented, in my opinion. Okay? It said, after what I heard from YouTube from that sex song and the other track, I call bullshit. Right, so they're cooking this guy. Said, is Caleb even aware you're doing this? If so, is he okay with it? And now the obvious, did he ever mention his brother being weird? Did he ever mention how David treated him in the past? He said he isn't aware, but I hope he won't mind. I do think it's really important to clear the air of what I can after seeing all the insane things said here. As for the second question, no, I answered him in a bit more detail to another response. So has Caleb ever mentioned anything about David being weird growing up, like showing signs he might be capable of something like this? And also, do you know why they were homeschooled? Said he hasn't mentioned anything. The whole thing really came as a big shock to Caleb when the news first broke in September, so I doubt any signs were ever shown. As for homeschooling, it probably has to do with his family being religious. I don't know. Okay? So I'm not sure, again, if I believe what people are saying. And basically someone followed up. They said, was the news in September a shock to him? Did he initially believe his brother was innocent until recently? Or did he have a feeling it was true? So it says, while I don't know exactly what he was thinking initially, he definitely saw all the evidence posted early on online, leading me to believe that if there was any denial, it wasn't for long. He was offline for most of September, probably due to all of his friends asking him if he knew anything, if it was true or if he was involved. He came back in early October, and we made sure not to ask about it or pester him. I could kind of tell he needed an escape from everything that was going on, so we tried our best to give him one. All right, so this dude knew everything. Let's be real here. You're a clown. Someone said, do you know some of his inspirations for his style or visual aesthetics? People seem to question if Caleb is intentionally mimicking David's sound and style. Kokinox said his visuals and aesthetics have nothing to do with his brother. I've seen his inspiration playlist, and it's a lot of 2000s pop music and some niche stuff here and there. They're saying, why was he homeschooled? Religious family would be my guess. If you don't know, then you should stay silent and not guess. Speculation got us here. Says, fair enough. I just wanted to answer everything. They said, how is he doing mentally? I bet it's not something easy to live with. Kokonok said the best he can. While it was bad when the news first broke out, everyone saying he was taking advantage of Celeste being murdered to start a music career seems to have been the worst. He was very nervous when he dropped that statement last night because, you know, it's his future. I do think it was a big relief for him to get it out, though. Like, this guy knows too much. He's like in the kid's head. He's just making it up, right? I've got a lot of friends that are going through shit. I couldn't get in there. Could never possibly see myself writing like, you know, my homie, like, I know it was really bad when the news first broke out. Everyone was saying this, but like, he was very nervous. It's like, bro, you knowing too much about his inner dialogue. It's not even possible. Like, I wouldn't make any sort of assumptions about that, about anyone I'm talking about in the third person. It's just an odd way to speak about anyone, all right? So, you know, it's a bit weird. Do you know if he ever met Celeste? He addressed this in his response to everything on his IG story last night. In his own words, I was around Celeste a few times when I was 15. I didn't know her well and didn't know her age. He also addressed a video that was circulating of him and Celeste backstage. From my time knowing him, I think his statement on this is 100% true. He spent so much time making sure everything was as truthful as possible before releasing it. See, now that comment makes me think, no, this is David's brother just pretending. This is David's brother cosplaying as somebody else, as a third person. Because he's basically towing the line and putting out all the best PR answers. Oh, did he ever meet Celeste? Well, I'm not even going to address my opinions on this, right? If you knew the guy, you'd be like, he said he never met Celeste, but I reckon he did. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's ridiculous. The perfect PR response, he addressed everything. It was the perfect response, and I think the response is 100% true. So it says, not going to lie, after that public statement and this sounds like damage control to me. See, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this is damage control, and they've let a random on here. They've either let David's brother on here under a pseudonym to try and clean up his image, or they've let a random on here that is somehow doing some positive PR for David's family and David's brother. And that's what they're saying here, and I think it's very interesting. Some of these usernames are insanity. I'm not even going to bring attention to that, but that's crazy. I'm not going to lie, after that public statement of this, it sounds like damage control to me. He makes music just like his brother, literally, same process, same auto-tune and pitch correct techniques. I think his bro taught him how, in my opinion. I do have a question. Why does he even want to make music and follow in his shitty brother's footsteps? Facts, all right? So this isn't him, but I think this is an interesting comment. In my opinion, he shouldn't have to do damage control. He's done nothing wrong. As far as making music goes, that's by far the least problematic thing about David. And I don't understand why it even matters if his style or the fact he makes music is inspired by his older brother. There's a lot of comments here just suspiciously, like, throwing an amount of bail to David's brother that is unjustified. Not that I think David's brother should be any level of deserving of criticism on the level of David. We did see him leading the girl that got killed backstage. You know, and look, he gave his statement. I think his statement was good, but he is now an adult. He has to atone for the things that he has done. He was seen there with the victim, all right? We ain't going to forget about that. You can't just play victim and whinge like a baby when, like, we seen you, you are there with the victim. Ain't too many other people been there with the victim leading them backstage, okay? So you got something to answer for. But the fact that randoms on here are they're giving so much bail to Caleb, they're giving so much support to Caleb, and they're giving so much blanket support to this guy around David. It to me seems manufactured, and it seems like, at least at a time, the mods on Dave Idiots were allowing this to happen and facilitating this, doing a confirmation of his identity. Oh, this guy definitely knows Caleb. Was it Caleb? Did he prove he knew Caleb by just Caleb can show you anything that he's got? I could prove on Reddit that I'm good friends with Traplaw Ross by showing a picture of some of his personal artifacts. I'll show you his YouTube plaque. You know, with the Reddit open next to it. I know him. I'm him. So it says, especially seeing as he was making music before the murder even happened. These are all the PR talking points that Caleb trotted out, right? If music is his passion, so be it. Whether he put his career on a 5-year pause to make people happy or continue doing what he's doing, now, y'all would still honest be asked. If I was him, I would ignore y'all. I think you might be him. Or at least working with him. Who gives enough of a fuck about Caleb to even write a big, long, supportive message like this for him? Okay, and then we're going to see in a minute. All right, there's more to this, okay? So it's not about him doing anything wrong. It's the family name being dragged through the mud. Him dropping songs is tone deaf. And now, right, now it's another suspiciously supportive message. The way I see it, he's trying to denounce his brother's actions and clear his own name while simultaneously forging his own path and moving on with his life. If this is the path he chose, why should he allow his effed up family and brother to ruin his life? What is he supposed to do in this situation? What is he supposed to do? So here's cute Kokonox, all right, giving again Suspiciously long and thought out statements for somebody that's ultimately irrelevant, all right? People talking about, oh, should we be allowed to talk about David's brother? Who gives a fuck? He's irrelevant. He's not really that important. I've made a couple videos about him, but like, bro, I'm not gonna lie, that's just keeping up with just a little bit of a sideshow with this David case. It's not really relevant. He's not really becoming of this much very well thought out typing. All right, who is really going to put in the labor with their fingers to even put this much support out there for Caleb, other than anyone that's on his side, working with him, working with the family, trying to clean up the PR? They got a whole crisis management team working on this thing, probably. So look, this is just my opinion. This is the opinion that I'm forming based on what I'm reading with my eyes, and these are all things that the Dave idiots mods don't want you. They don't want you to see this. They don't want you to know this happened. Okay, and is what it is. They're probably going to be upset with me, okay? But they don't like me over there anyway. But anyway, Kokinox. So there's a few things I want to address here. He knows way too much, right? His brother never taught him how to make music. He did this on his own. In my opinion, as Kokinox, not Caleb, in my opinion, his music doesn't sound much like his brother's. I've heard hundreds of songs by him, not just the two he's put out. As for Damage Control, what do you expect? I'm sorry, but I'm friends with musicians who are actually talented rappers, bro. I'm not sat there listening to hundreds of unreleased songs. Bro, I've been in studio with a few rappers. What do you mean 100 unreleased songs? Tell you who's listened to 100 unreleased songs. You yourself, if you're making them. Ain't no one sitting around. This is, bro, I think it's Caleb, but anyway, all right. Said, as for Damage Control, what do you expect him to do? The statement came from a place of not wanting his life to be ruined by false allegations from huge news companies about his intent of dropping music. Some of the things being said are the type that could prevent him from ever being hired or having a future. As for your question, music is something he's very passionate about and has been for years. His initial plan with the music was to let it speak for itself, and hoped initially that nobody would find out that he's David's brother to avoid the mess this has become impossible. But people stalked him. I don't think that's a fair characterization of what happened. He was out here courting attention, and he got found out, and unfortunately found out almost the right way. So honestly, I'm not sure I even believe the narrative that David's brother's being stalked, all right? I'm not sure I believe it. That's some victim mindset shit. That's some shit that I think Caleb might put up there. But anyway, right, I don't know. People are going to be on me for this video. It says following in his brother's footsteps is the last thing he wants to do. Like, who's having these kind of conversations and then just putting that across there? This person is doing so much heavy lifting for just, like, their friend who they've not even told. Like, I couldn't imagine, oh, I'm going to do a Reddit Ask Me Anything for, like, my homie Adam. He don't know I'm doing this, but I'm just going to tell you, like, I think this is what he was thinking when he first started making pornos, like, and, you know, getting on camera with his wife. And, like, I don't think he wanted to follow in the footsteps. I think he was really chasing greatness, trying to follow in the footsteps of other famous stars. Like, where on earth am I going to be getting this information from? So people are saying, genre-wise, no. Engineered-wise, yes. They're both using the same program they use on their phones, you can tell. As far as your Damage Control comment, you don't think he's had all this time to publicly speak out about anything, and now he's released that statement and you're on here? That's sus, and he needs to be passionate about something else. It's effing awful, and he will live in his brother's shadow in a stained legacy. Maybe these kids are stupid enough to give him likes and views to get him to the top, but that won't change anything. Honestly, what's wrong with pointing the finger at Caleb and saying, like, maybe you just shouldn't do music, bro? Maybe music's not for you. The songs are like, they ain't really that good, and like, you in the stain, you got the stain of your brother's legacy. You might need to go and become a volunteer at a women's shelter and atone for your brother's sins, bro. You trying to be a pop star with music ain't gonna happen. But what, we're not allowed to criticize this youth that's trying to do his thing, trying to get a little bit of emotion off the back of this, not off the back of this situation, but like in the midst of this. It's time to cancel that rollout. Yeah, you shouldn't have dropped that song. Anyway, it says they're both using the same programs on the phone. You can tell this is the problem. You can't. Caleb uses FL Studio on his computer, and David initially used Bandcamp. You knowing too much, bro. You knowing too much. You knowing what software they're using on what devices, bro. I reckon this could be Caleb. It could be Caleb's friend put up to this by Caleb doing Damage Control. It could be just somebody from a crisis management team doing bot posts, trying to change the tide. All right. Legitimately curious, what constitutes friends with someone online for 2+ years? Like, you're talking every day, month, year, you're video conferencing, voice chatting? It's a great question, because you know everything that's going on inside Caleb's head. You know his dreams, his passions, his plans for the future. How you know all this? Definitely didn't talk every day, but he would hop in the voice call relatively often, 2 to 3 times per week. He often shows me what music he's working on and asks for feedback. His plans, future-wise, much closer now than we were before. So you're hopping in here 2-3 times a week. You talking about you've heard 100 different songs. So, bruv, come on. All right. You only know him from Discord. And you know 100 songs from Discord and you know exactly how he's thinking about everything and about his whole come up with his brother and their relationship. It's cap. It's cap. Can't imagine that relationship continuing to be good after you running to the internet with personal info without letting him know first. Hopefully he or someone near him is smart enough to cut off friends like that talk for clout without discussing it. Last type person somebody needs in their circle while dealing with all this. Yeah, that's all well and good unless it's Caleb with his little 18-year-old mind, just like David, thinking he's outsmarted everybody. I'm going to do this on a burner account and pretend we're friends, but the friend is going to take up to bat for me for every point and set the record straight and clean my face up. Come on, bro. So it says, did he say how his parents feel if they're still speaking with David? The gall for this person to even act like they would know this, right? So it says he has not. All right. However, from context clues, I do think his parents might, keyword here, please, might think he's innocent. I don't know for sure. I've avoided asking for him. You've avoided yeah. You on here talking about, his hopes and his dreams and exactly what his relationship was like with David, but you ain't asking that. And you still talking all the time. You not asked that one in the Discord voice chat. And it's like, it's the perfect response, right? Did he say how they feel? I think they might think he's innocent. Doesn't even throw him under the bus. You'll notice that like this person is like very just like, oh, just look, Caleb just doesn't want anything to do with this person. Says, I also feel bad for him in a way because the comments about him releasing music were wild, accusing and blaming him like he was David. He's a different person that just happens to be the brother of a psycho. It doesn't mean he's the same. TMZ comments a bunch of insensitive people putting the blame on him. Disgusting behavior of people on the internet though. But max coping. All right. So this post is probably inundated with bots basically just being nice to Caleb. All right. AstroTurfing. And people are working it out. It seems like you're trying to also damage control this situation. Why isn't he doing an AMA? He said he's been around Celeste a few times. When was this exactly and what did they do? What does a few times mean? How was she introduced to him? What did they talk about? How did David introduce her to his family? Did he know about Celeste going on vacation with David? Is he talking to David at the moment? Will he support David in court? Sorry if that's too many questions. And again, I just feel like these comments, they're taken up for this guy so randomly. Said he's a young adult processing his brother's crimes in a very public way. I doubt the first thing that comes to mind is let's do an AMA. He really doesn't owe anyone on here answers. He's not the one on trial. He doesn't owe anyone answers, but if he wants to put some answers across, if he's part of a larger operation to just try and clean up the situation, I can see it. All right. Caleb does. So this is cute Coconox. Caleb doesn't know that I'm doing this AMA, and I can imagine he is not doing an AMA or anything like that for numerous reasons. Why are you doing it? What if he word something? To me, this is just me and my opinion. This is all my opinion. But to me, in my opinion, this Caleb. What if he words something wrong and TMZ has an article up about it, taking it out of context the next morning? What if he says something he isn't legally allowed to say by accident and gets in trouble? This person knows so much about what Caleb is and isn't allowed to say. It's like, what if all of these things are from a crisis management team, and how do you know everything that Caleb is and isn't allowed to do? There's a lot of reasons you haven't heard more from him. As far as I know, a few times was backstage at David's concerts. I can imagine he's not legally allowed to talk about specific you can imagine, yeah? Specific interactions given the severity of this case. He will not support David in court, and he is currently not talking to David. I can imagine he's not legally allowed to talk about specific... Unless he made a different Reddit account. Thanks for this AMA. Caleb should not do any AMA because people are super cruel with him for no reason. Yes, there's a reason. He was seen taking the victim backstage. You dumb. I hope he doesn't take it to heart and he takes a break from social media for a while, or at least away from the case and what people are talking. Isn't that a nice comment, right? Isn't that a nice comment? Yeah. He could provide clarity, but he doesn't need to. I know he is a victim as well. I'm not interested in listening to his music. I might when he comes forward with everything and being open. Otherwise, I'm really not interested. He's in a horrible situation. The pity party for this guy is suspicious. Do you know anything about the parents and how they raised the boys, or their take on the relationship between him and Celeste? So he knew everything about Caleb's hopes and dreams, how they record their music, his relationship with David. But on this one, he doesn't know shit. Oh, the only thing I know is the family's heavily religious Christian. I don't want to assume everything else. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, this one's just calling him out straight up to his face, bro. Damn. All right, wait. I'm gonna refill my drink before I read this one. I already know there's going to be a super, super savage comment, okay? This person's not buying it at all. All right? This person is not buying it at all. They said, yeah, I could tell you've been monitoring the subreddit, Caleb. I mean, I would too. He's your brother. And well, now both of you are making history in just about the worst way we've ever seen. I know you can't really say anything, so that's fine, but let me try and help set something straight for you. You're young. This is so effed up. You can't say what you want to say. It's understandable that you don't know what to do right now, and it makes sense. This comment is wild, I'm not gonna lie. And it makes sense that you make poor decisions. Dude, shut the F up. Seriously, and I'm saying this with all of the absolute best intentions at heart. You need to shut your mouth. Sure, you have the right to release sex music. You have the right to screw yourself over in a way that is genuinely incomprehensible. This event is going down as the single most gruesome crime ever committed by a celebrity. Facts. Do you not understand that? This isn't even comparable to the celebrity murders we've seen either. Nowhere close. This is a degree of insanity, perversion, and true gruesome, vile evil we've never seen on this sort of stage. You have now brought the attention of this onto yourself as well. You have soaked any potential career that you would have had in the blood of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. I'm fucking with this commenter, bro. They spitting facts, bro. They giving tough love to Caleb, man. It doesn't matter that you didn't intend to gain notoriety from your brother's actions. You did. You are now getting attention because of what your brother did to this girl. It doesn't fucking matter if you had been planning this for ages. The fact you can't even acknowledge how insane this is to go through with says everything. You have no idea how much you revealed by doing this. What? You think you just dropped the music and no one would bat an eye? Did it really not bother you that your brother just got arrested for the worst sex crime we've ever seen a celebrity commit? You have the perception of a dead rat. Cooking, Caleb, bro. Or do you just not care? Are you that fucking psychotic you couldn't wait to start your career, huh? Really? Have no idea what the perception was going to be? You also just made your whole family look insane, by the way. Really great for everyone's future here as we try and understand how and why David became what he is. Right, man? You technically have every right in the world to try and go viral right now. Technically, you can be the most insensitive little rat any of us have ever witnessed. In the Wikipedia article, this is the summary of your career. 2 weeks after his brother's arrest for murdering and dismembering a young'un, Caleb released his single, Sex. Facts, bro. Facts, Caleb. Caleb had been previously recorded escorting David's child GF at one of David's shows. Congratulations! It's over in a way that nobody has ever seen before. In a way none of us can really comprehend yet, honestly. When people look at you, all they will ever see is this. Good job, pal. I need to take a breather because that is one of the most savage comments I've ever seen. And I feel like that comment alone is actually fully convinced me to not really have any sympathy for Caleb. I had some sympathy when he released his statement, but now I'm thinking like, yeah, like you could have cancelled that release talking about, well, I had the music video film before. Nah. You launched your career 2 weeks after the arrest for the most heinous crime that a celebrity... Bruv, that comment cooked. That comment cooked, bro. Wow. Okay. So, and then, so obviously no response to that one, right? No response to that one. Caleb definitely read that one. But here we go, man. Here we go. More glazing. All right. More suspicious glazing. These two comments is like two comments people have written to themselves, right? Not a question, just words of support that I hope Caleb gets to read. Caleb, stay strong. My kid is about your age, and I can't imagine what you're going through. Yeah, forget about Celeste and her family. Let's spare a thought for what Caleb is going through. Won't somebody think about Caleb? Don't listen to the negativity. That's not you. You don't deserve any of it. I mean, I think, what's him? This maybe is him. That's the Wikipedia site. Yeah, that's him. That's not you. You don't deserve any of it. Don't stop making music. Don't give up on your dreams. You are so talented in your own right. Get the best kind of revenge on those who are hating on you. There's one person who's worthy of revenge here, right? And it definitely doesn't end with making music. It ends with somebody getting rolled up and smoked, right? When David gets the death penalty anyway. It says, rise above the circumstances by being positive and focusing on your own personal growth. I have no doubt that you'll show everyone that you are your own person, a good person, a worthy artist. But from what I can see, you've been handling this situation with maturity, courage, and rationality. The glazing, right? The absolute glazing. Remember that all things change and this dark time will not last forever. I don't think he's ever going to live this down. This case is going to go down in notoriety forever. I know it's a bit cliche to say, but this too shall pass. I don't know why, but I'm actually so triggered the idea that somebody is talking about the murder, dismemberment, and ongoing abuse of a minor that was found stuffed in the trunk of a Tesla, chopped into pieces, and for you to have the gall to say this too will pass. I think this could be another comment written by Caleb or the crisis management team to try and convince people to think about things this way. But that is nonsense. I'm not going to lie. That is nonsense. Okay. My chair is currently stuck on some carpet right now, so I need to fix that. Anyway, I know it's a bit cliche to say, but this too shall pass, but it's the truth. I cannot believe it. What was that? Hang on. Okay, I think my headphones are nearly out of battery. Anyway, okay. So it said, just like the quote from The Crow, it can't rain all the time. I truly wish you the best. That is absolutely brazen, honestly. That comment is insane. Okay. And then look at this, all right? Definitely not Caleb, but Caleb's friend, Kokinox. Thank you so much. I will forward this to him. Your kind words are truly appreciated. Thanks for passing it along, love heart. Also, thank you for being willing to answer questions here on his behalf. Brav. So it says, does he know how to play any instruments, read and write notes? I've heard him play guitar before. At a point, he was building a lot of songs around that. Did he talk about his brother and their past relationship with the parents? People saying, okay, Caleb. He's been rumbled. They know it's Caleb. So did Caleb know his brother was using drugs so heavily, or if this was a thing beforehand? I know this has to be difficult, especially knowing Celeste was his age. Hoping he gets some therapy and can process with somebody totally unrelated to his family. And the glazing continues. Thanks for doing this. People are being vile for no reason. He should just keep doing his thing and develop his skills. Life is short. What, like Celeste's short life? You fucking... I'm triggered. And I'm assuming most of the people who post these horrible comments are young and still think they have all the time in the world. Well, some people didn't have too much time, did they? I'm actually getting angry reading this now. Anyway, that's simply just not how life works. Time is valuable. Putting your life on hold over something that has nothing to do with you is just pointless. Okay, Caleb. Says, this is weird as hell. I'm not going to lie, lol. And you even said you don't know if he's okay with doing this. With you doing this. He's not involved in what happened to Celeste. This is just exploitative. It said at one point, OP said Caleb didn't know they were posting. At another point, OP said Caleb was reading the comments and knew people supported him. OP was full of shit. May have known Caleb online since they did prove it to mods, but really doesn't know the dude at all, just wanted some attention. Why is every comment deleted? Because he got called out for being exploitative and weird. I think it was Caleb, guys. That's my opinion. This is my opinion. Don't sue me. Don't come at me. This is my opinion, allegedly. In my opinion, based on what I've read, I feel like I personally have a feeling that that might have been Caleb or some kind of damage control operation. Okay? It's an absolute mess. How was this allowed on the subreddit? Okay? So here is the original post, right, that's been deleted. Hella comments all deleted. It's a mess, right? Nothing's here. Don't really understand what's going on. Like, why is all the... What? Like, it don't make sense. It's been scrubbed. All right, it's been scrubbed. Good thing I had the backup, gang. All right, very good thing I had the backup. So the very same day as this, and this had been allowed and sanctioned by the mods of the subreddit, and we know this was allowed and sanctioned by the mods of the subreddit because it said OP provided proof of his relationship with Caleb and has been verified by mods. What proof did he provide? Mods, Dave Idiot's mods. All right, I know you're gonna see this. You're going to see this. What proof did he provide? Let us know. I'm putting the pressure on you guys now. What proof did he provide? What did he give you? What did he give you? OP deleted their posts and comments. Sorry, my bad. So it said OP provided proof of the relationship, and then the Dave Idiot's mod said OP deleted their posts and comments. They said, yeah, I was asking if you or the mod team knew why he deleted it. I understand you may not know, though. What's the proof? What's the proof? What's the proof? What's the proof? Is it Caleb? Did he show you something that we could... yeah, it was Caleb, wasn't it? It was Caleb, wasn't it? Anyway, okay. It was Caleb. All right. I think there was a comment. I might have had a comment highlighted. Hang on. Yeah. So, okay. All right. I'm going to move on to the next thing. So, right. So, the exact same day, okay, the exact same day of this, the Dave Idiot subreddit announced this. All right? Same day. Same day. Deleted all the posts. What's the proof? Starting after this post, we will no longer allow new posts regarding Caleb. Exceptions will permit major updates related directly to David's case if Caleb posts relevant information. In those cases, discussion must stay focused on David, the one sitting in jail. If you want to talk about Caleb specifically, please comment in the existing posts already about Caleb. We've been losing focus on David lately. This subreddit is for David, not Caleb. Thank you for understanding and helping us maintain the purpose of this subreddit. Mod team. So the Caleb cleanup operation didn't go to plan, and now we can't talk about Caleb. And why are we doing so much defense for Caleb, right? The subreddit's for David, not Caleb. What about Celeste? What about Celeste getting led backstage? Who led Celeste backstage? Oh, we're not. The subreddit's for David, not Caleb. Who could smell something messed up in David's house when the body might well have been in his garage on a live stream? But the subreddit's for David, not Caleb. Okay. And they're saying this. Has this been done for the family of Celeste too? It really should. I'm a little surprised it hasn't been done yet after their statement came out. People saying, thank you, OMG. I was getting so annoyed. Suddenly a witch hunt for the brother. David killed someone. For real, I don't actually care. Caleb had nothing to do with it. And I'm also not trying to make him famous with his music career by engaging. Okay, thank God. They're so happy. Yes, I was so tired of that discussion. I hope the other subs follow suit. Finally, now I don't have to sift through 10 Caleb is trying to boost his career post to see one focused on Celeste or David. David has ruined enough lives as it is, and I'm sure his brother would like to live his life without constantly being attached to something his older brother did. Shouldn't have dropped music then, should he? Shouldn't have dropped music, David, days after David was arrested, right? Finally, tired of seeing him discussed. Caleb is innocent until proven guilty. He can still be an asshole for dropping songs, right? I very recently saw someone resurface the maybe Caleb was the one dating Celeste, not David theories due to the footage of them going backstage at the concert, like what is happening. It was a legitimate theory at the very beginning of the case due to the footage and the fact they're closer in age. However, the evidence is already in the hands of the court, plenty of which has been released to the public. So what a stupid thing to say now once we have a literal abundant proof of David and Celeste's encounters. Simply because people are talking about him a lot now, people are so dumb. Everybody's happy, right? Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Okay, oh, amazing. As a collaborator who works with Caleb occasionally, thank you. Feel so bad for Caleb, man. It's just a Caleb pity party in here. But why? Thank you. I feel bad for Caleb. That kid was the one who was posting Celeste, and now he hates PDFs. He was in on it, period. Right? Why? You think Lil Bro is lurking in this sub? Yes. No, because it isn't relevant to the topic. The case is about David, not his brother he didn't really even talk to ever. Why is he leading the dead girl backstage then? Simmer down. Simmer down. I'm not allowed to talk about that, all right? So, interestingly enough, all right, they've banned people not even disrespecting. This is where it's fucked, right? And that comment's so important. They've banned people talking about Caleb. They've put a protective ring around Caleb. Well, you can't talk about David's brother who released a sex song days after all of this was going on. But he was already planning to release the song. It was too late. Could have just not published the song and waited. He was thinking he was going to have some motion, wasn't he? But anyway, if it's so wrong for Caleb to be tarred with the wrong brush, why not Celeste's family? You all down to post these ones talking about why aren't people looking into Celeste's family? Really, it's the family's fault. I would never let my child go off with some celebrity in Hollywood. The family is disgusting. It's their fault. They were selling their daughter. Blah, blah, blah. Why aren't they getting the same protection? And I've been one of the few people who have put my neck out a lot and said that there should not be anything disrespectful said about Celeste's family. They're the victims in all of this. And I also believe that a lot of the things that were being said about them weren't even true. They were trying to keep Celeste away from David. They were trying to keep her phone away from her. David's paying people in the school to give her a phone. So, why aren't they offering the same protection to Celeste's family? Okay? Why are they being so protective, such a protective ring around Caleb? Poor Caleb. But no one's given a flying fuck about Celeste's family that have suffered so much, right? They refuse to offer that same protection to Celeste's own family, right? And this is currently the pinned post on the subreddit. Okay, wait. This is insane, all right? Here's the thing. This is the pinned post on the subreddit right now, all right? So I'm blowing the case wide open and talking about r/Davidiots running defense for David and Caleb and running offense against Celeste's family. This is the pinned post. This is the subreddit. If you go to reddit.com/rdayvideos, this is the pinned post at the top. Every time you come here, this is at the top right now. And it's a few days old. All right? This is the post. Is Wendy going to testify plus Celeste's family of liars? And they were saying a minute ago, oh, this is what was it? She was mentally challenged or something. That's what they were saying, right? Earlier. So it says, is Wendy going to testify plus Celeste's family of liars? So Wendy says, I swear this family lies so much. So much. I don't even know who to believe in anymore. It's confusing. I'm sick and tired of people lying to me every day, every single day. Lies, lies, lies. The last thing she told, she wasn't going to go with him. She told me to keep it a secret. She didn't want anyone to know. And said, this is the last secret she told me. I can confirm it. And it says she wanted to leave him. Okay. So Celeste's own family, all right. I don't know where this whole thing of like, oh, no more posts related to Wendy, right? That's pinned. That's the most popular. That they're artificially pushing this Celeste family of liars, right? And people saying, is there any context to this? This is Celeste's cousin newest Facebook post regarding Celeste and David and their family. It says, these posts don't really tell us anything other than she's kind of a lot. I guess she is kind of a lot. It says, for her own sake, I hope she doesn't testify. And by that, I mean she seems mentally fragile and getting on the stand and cross-examined would be really hard on her. If she does, I hope she brings a few good people to support her. It says, I think you're on point that it will be hard on her to testify. I think her proof she will bring in the case is a vital part. Celeste confided in her and trusted her. Testifying in a way may help her process what the end resulted in David's music, told part of the story that validated his plans were in place, and he used Celeste and her voice and her words. I agree with her needing a good support system. She'll be able to put it out there that he will be exposed for the murder and R word of Celeste. It's good she shares her truth. People saying, I feel bad for her. It says, this is how Celeste treated me as a princess. Then there's another one saying I wasn't very close to Celeste. This is the leaked video of Celeste while she was missing on paper but attending a family get-together was filmed by Wendy. You can see Celeste walk up to some man, maybe an uncle, and hug him quickly. She looks at the camera almost with a contemptuous, disapproving stare and quickly looks away and goes about her business. You can be not too close to a person, still acknowledge they treat you well when you meet. I don't think these are mutually exclusive. So it says Celeste's family is irrelevant to the criminal case against David. She likely already talked to the police. If it's necessary, she will testify, but she could be a liability. Who knows? It says, you're not understanding her. She knows a lot. And if you listen to the song Linked, you would understand why. The song literally has a convo between Celeste and David, her asking why he kept calling her phone, that he needed to figure his shit out. As he keeps saying, you said you'd love me to the day you die, baby girl. You was already dead to me. You've been dead. You've been dead. You've been dead. And we talked about this in the previous video. So he's saying you've been dead over Celeste basically crying on the voice note, right? He makes music based off other people's lives, Cap. It's not far-fetched. He secretly recorded her or would start stuff to get a storyline. It's the same stuff he did in school to make his comments, write stories and other people. He said it himself. Never Needed You came out around the end of 2024 after they were broken up but became on again and off again. Wendy knows a lot. Do not discredit her. To add more fuel to the fire, Where'd It Go Wrong came out in December of 2024, and a month later her voice is at the end saying, you're special, David. Okay. So she's credible. It says that she knows a lot. She posted about children meeting strangers online while Celeste was alive. She's like the only family member who cared about Celeste, in my opinion. I hope the mods here carefully monitor disrespectful comments towards her because she doesn't deserve any of the hate around here. We're actively removing comments that are discrediting her or diagnosing her with conditions or disabilities. That's a medical professional's job. Thank you for your contribution. It says, here is one. Right? And we saw that earlier. Is Wendy... wait. Comment no longer exists. Yeah, of course. So basically, people are trying to discredit her, right? People are trying to put her down. Say she's got some mental condition. So people saying they're misdiagnosing her, basically just trying to trash her credibility and say she's not mentally well. It says, how likely is it that Wendy knows the subreddits watch her posts? It's been confirmed she knows of the sub and follows Strategic Eyes for Crime. Okay, I think there's enough evidence already. She told Wendy she was going to leave him, but she blew her top when she heard he was cheating on her and said she would destroy him for that. It's got to be one or the other. How does Wendy Truth Machine explain this? People saying she seems like she's going through a mental health crisis, or God forbid she's using her dead cousin for her 15 seconds of fame. Now we start seeing the nasty comments that are trashing her and attacking her. So she's having. So when she does it, when Wendy does it, she's not sticking up for and saying that she was right and she'd been one of the only people ringing the alarm bells for her cousin, looking out for her. No, when she does it, she's going through a mental health crisis and she's using her dead cousin for 15 minutes of fame. But when Caleb drops a song, all right, it's not his fault. He already had the song in motion. He'd already planned the release. We can't let the horrible actions of his brother tar him. He's not looking for 15 seconds of fame. It says, can someone tell the family to stop posting shit like this on social media because David's defense team can and will use this against the prosecution to cause reasonable doubt? Like, do they want him to go free or what? Yeah, I think that maybe there is some astroturfing going on here to try and muddy the waters, right? They're saying the girl is mentally delayed. Like, what's the proof of that? I haven't seen proof of that, all right? I haven't seen proof of that. Now people are hating again. If the family cared, Celeste would still be alive. It's out of line, man, right? It's out of line. People saying the defense can say she's mentally unwell and not take her seriously. Some people saying she should testify. Her Facebook is very confusing. She said her birthday's coming up soon. She's born Valentine's Day, but today's May 28th. I don't think she would be called unless there's evidence that Wendy and Celeste live together, unless Wendy has text back and forth from Celeste when she's talking about David. Okay. He said, you're a weirdo for this title, Celeste family of weirdos, like she would want people attacking her family. Now, other people are saying, oh, I think Wendy could be slow after checking her page. Right, now we got deleted comments. Please be respectful. So I think something's going on here, right? Can't say a bad word about Caleb no more, but you can trash Celeste's family, and then you can say Celeste's whole family of liars. You run in defense for David, right? You run in defense for David and Caleb. So I think it's very suspicious, and I think there's an operation going on right now. So what I want to do now is I want to take a closer look at the user that actually posted that Reddit AMA saying that they were Caleb's friends right before the mods decided to ban any mention of David's brother and their close connection to David's family. Okay, now I've got all the goods on this this user. Okay, so basically, the day before that Reddit AMA by the guy that basically goes by Kokinox or QOQinox, I'm just going to refer to him as Q for now, okay? But basically, a day before that Reddit AMA by Caleb's friend dropped, okay, in the Dave Idiot subreddit, and posts about Caleb were completely banned, this user named Spectre made this post on X, all right? And this was basically a massive support piece for Caleb. David's little brother Caleb responds to false allegations from TMZ and other news outlets saying he's using Celeste's death to promote his music via his IG story. I can 100% vouch for him. I've been friends with him for over 2 years and he'd already taken months away from music to avoid this exact situation. So why'd he fucking still drop the song then? He's a very kind person who deserves none of this and it's so effing unfair. You know what's not fair? That Celeste didn't get to celebrate her 15th birthday. I don't give a fuck about Caleb. I'm extremely disappointed with TMZ, Daily Mail, and Traplaw Ross for lying about Caleb for clickbait and views. The articles and videos have led to some insane rumors about Caleb online and many disgusting replies. Like what? Like what? He already has to deal with his brother being a monster. He's just trying to get his music career going. He's just trying to get his motion with the music going right now, man. Like, it's so hard for him. No, he shouldn't have dropped. He actually shouldn't have dropped. This was good. I was in support of this statement. This came after a song. This came after he got smoked and embarrassed in front of everybody for dropping a song days after his brother got arrested for the most heinous crime a celebrity's ever committed. Facts. Okay? So this Twitter user, this X user, all right, looking kind of okay. Like, this a popular page. They got 100,000 followers. Like, you running defense for Caleb? Like, this a popular. How you get such a popular page? How you get such a popular page, Spectre? I'm interested. I'm curious. I want to know. You followed by some big dogs. Like, okay, that's interesting, right? That's very interesting that you would post. Very odd, honestly, that you would post this. It's kind of weird. Where can I go to support his music, right? It's a bunch of support. So we see what people say. And Traplaw Ross makes money by exploiting black people. Okay. Oh, you didn't see the video I did on Donald Trump? Oh no, you didn't see that one. Okay. Yeah. Traplaw Ross was already at eggshells after the Central Sea Ball, but I can't stand this guy. Wow. Okay. Anyway, all right. Oh, but I thought you only made money by exploiting black people, but Central Sea's not black. Oh, what? Anyway, okay. So inside Spectre's Discord server, he's got his own Discord server, okay? He's popping, right? This guy's popping. So basically, okay, he makes TikTok song mashups, and there's a user named Coconox, all right? Matches the same Redditor's name. So there's a user in his Discord. So this Spectre guy who's popping, he's got motion, right? He's got big motion on Twitter. He's doing big support. I didn't see this at the time, to be honest with you, right? He's posting remixes, mashups, posting content, all that kind of thing. But he's posting big support for Caleb, and he's hating on me and TMZ and the Daily Mail. I'm not going to lie. Me being up there with TMZ and the Daily Mail, not that I think that those are the best platforms, but like, they're pretty big platforms. But it's weird, right? And so in his Discord, that's where Coconox is, right? I co-own Post Mashups for and help run Spectre's social media accounts. I co-own Post Mashups for and help run Spectre's social media accounts, right? So around the time that Celeste's body was identified, September 2025, Coconox, let's just call him Q. Coconox sent these messages on a Discord. Said, no, I actually can't imagine what Caleb is going through, right? We've not even identified the body. This is 17th of September. And Coconox, won't somebody think of Caleb? What's Caleb going through? And people are joking. They're saying David going to meet Diddy and R. Kelly, right? Saying this is crazy. People biting their nails. They're saying, y'all leave him out of this, though. Don't effing harass him. Bro, we weren't thinking about no Caleb, right? No one giving a fuck about Caleb back then. I can't imagine what he's got. Bro, I wasn't giving a fuck about Caleb back then. We were trying to find out whose body was chopped up in David's Tesla. Anything about no Caleb? Are you joking? But here's where it goes left, right? So that Discord server, okay, is going to be in shambles once Celeste's body gets identified, okay? And then they start talking about David's brother Caleb, and then Q stepped in. He said, no. It said, we kicked David's brother because we were friends with him, and he fucking knew that his brother was a PDF R-word. And someone said, what? Or I will kick him. I don't know if he's kicked. Now he's still in here. People said the whole family in on it is brazy, but there's evidence with the girl. They said, I got to see this shit, bro. And they posted the video of Caleb leading the victim of this heinous murder, Celeste Rivas Hernandez, rest in peace, backstage. Oh, leave Caleb. Why are we leaving Caleb out of it? You're walking the victim backstage. What did you know? You knew way more than you're letting on, Caleb. Way more. Right? That's just my opinion. That's honestly just my opinion. It's all alleged. They're saying same Crocs, same facial features. Damn, they got twin in 4K vertical, man. They got twin in 4K vertical, bro. He's cooked. All right? Damn, they're saying sources. One effing video of them together at David's shows is not evidence, my guy. Yeah, but it's very suspicious. Not many people can pull up a video or a pic of them with Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And anybody that has been seen with this girl has a lot of questions to answer for. Goes for Neo, David, Asia, anybody, the other Celeste, was a bunch of other random chicks with crazy names, whatever. All right? Have any of you stopped to think, what if he just lied to his brother about how old his girlfriend was? No, I hadn't stopped to think about that. I was thinking about, like, justice for this little girl. So people start going back. Please, for the love of God, don't tell me you believe he was involved just because of this one effing video, right? Please don't tell me you believe he was involved because he was seen with the girl. The girl everyone in his personal circle knew was underage. The girl he had on his streams underage. Brother, he would have known. Literal Instagram proof and everything of her being underage. Then maybe say that instead of using one effing video that doesn't prove anything without context. They run in David defense, right? Why is everywhere we go on the internet, there's just random people with avatars that we don't recognize defending Caleb out of nowhere, right? Yes, LMAO. When there's video evidence, yes. Yes, because it says, use the context clues, you illogical invertebrate. He said, yes, because I want to assume out the gate that everyone in David's circle, including friends and literal family, knew about this and didn't do anything about it. They said, yes, LMAO, when there's video evidence, yes. The evidence came out same day, bro. What are you saying? Don't use the excuse you didn't care to check because you knew enough to make a whole mashup of the song he made about his 13-year-old PDF murder victim. He said, I was literally following the story as the shit popped up on Music News. And he says, yeah, all right, brother, I've been known, you weird. This mashup solidifies it, though, not going to lie. They said, question mark. He said, as far as I can remember, Caleb didn't show up there, so I thought that he was in the clear. And then they said, I love how you get mad at a mashup while at the same time kicking it with David's brother, who could potentially ... potentially be involved. And so this Q guy starts posting hella question marks. All right. And he said, yes, let me show my gratitude to Celeste by mashing up a song about her with Lil effing Peep. I'm not going to kick Caleb out the server. Innocent until proven guilty. Stop trying to involve him in this stuff for F's sake. We're not trying to involve him. We're just saying, why are you in a... That's you, right? That's your man. Hey, that's your man's, right? That's your brother, right? All up in the video with the... Oh, that's your brother. Okay. So it's not... We're not making it up, are we? Not making it up. What are you doing with a victim? And yeah, he's released a statement now, but it's like, why are you trying? Like, why don't you want us to know? Like, we just trying to get answers for what this is, and you guys telling us like we ain't even allowed to talk about this. All right. So this Q-Nux guy, this Q guy, right? So he kind of goes on. He talks about how he was working on a project with David's brother Caleb back in December of 2025. Again, after the body has been found. Okay. So basically, this is in, I think it's November. I said, also, have you heard from Caleb? Okay. And it says, mask my eyes. He's just saying, got his eyes closed. People saying, no one's heard from Caleb. No. He said, I've been working with him on some stuff for the last month and a half. And saying, isn't he like, I said, reach out to him. He's active again. I said, never mind. I don't even think about talking about Caleb. I don't even feel like talking about Caleb and them. And saying, he's not part of it, bro. Come on. He said, I don't know, bro. And he said, he did not know. And he went through hella shit because of it. And he said, he told you that? He said, yes, bro, they swatted his house so many times. What the hell, dude? Because he's David's brother. So then February, Q posted the news about David's family being summoned to testify, right? And he basically run in defense. Ain't nobody had no sympathy for David's family trying to avoid the grand jury. Why are you guys trying to defend yourselves? David's disgusting. He allegedly did this horrible crime. He's flying this minor out to come and have dinner with the family in Texas. Why are you guys defending? Like, why are you guys trying to fight this grand jury? Come and tell us what you know. You had the girl at your house. You ain't got nothing to hide, right? Come tell us what you know. I couldn't fathom a reason to feel support for David's family trying to dodge a grand jury summon. But this guy, Q, miraculously, he got all the sympathy for David's family. David's family summoned to testify as witnesses, but they're fighting it. He knows too much. Hoping them the best, I can personally confirm they were unaware of his actions and genuinely innocent. It's really unfortunate that they've been dragged into this. They've not only had to deal with the pain of knowing their loved one did something as evil as this, but also they have to deal with constant doxing, threats, investigation, and more heartbreaking situation. When a child is murdered, you're gonna need some investigation. There's going to be some investigation. So I don't have any sympathy. Honestly, I don't have any sympathy. The child was murdered. It's not just Caleb going backstage. We seen Celeste sat in between David's siblings and next to his mother. All right. Yeah. David's mom. We needed to see you at that grand jury. You dodging that? Disgusting. So, like a week after David's arrest, Q would pipe up about David once again, okay? He said, they said they tried dragging him on IG a few months back because they were spotted together backstage. They're basically talking about Caleb. So he's basically defending and saying, they were trying to drag Caleb because he was spotted with Celeste. And he basically knows everything, right? He knows everything about Caleb. He said they didn't know each other. David just happened to have them both backstage. They thought she was the sister of a friend. Come on, man. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Come on, man. We got pictures of her hugging and cuddling on David backstage, and you telling me you didn't know. It says, I swear if the disgusting shit this piece of shit did makes it so his super talented and cool little brother, he's not talented, doesn't get to make it in the industry, did he even think about what would happen to his family? They got swatted so many times. Won't somebody think about David's brother and the fame that he won't get to get? Bro, hey, listen, Caleb, you already famous, baby. You done made it. You famous for this. You famous for this. All right. You famous for this. It's crazy, bro. So look, if this guy isn't Caleb and he's just Caleb's biggest supporter, this Q guy, I still feel like he defended Caleb in the third person so damn much. I still think it could be him. But then the way he's spoken, I could see plausible deniability, right? But anyway, he goes on. April of 2026, he was defending Caleb left and right. He was defending Caleb. Someone said it's because there's a video of him and Celeste backstage at David's concert in 2020, but who knows what David told his family. And then Q says, he told me he didn't even know who she was, just another normal person backstage, like a friend's little sister. I don't believe it. It said, also, I think that story of him saying that is old because I can't even find his brother's IG anymore. People saying, what the F are these reactions? People saying, oh, that makes sense. I hope he's doing better now. And they said they were together for years, though. How did he keep that secret? It's cap. It ain't no little sister. Oh, it could be a friend's little sister. Why is she sat in between David's siblings in the stands? She was sat in between Caleb and David's sister, next to the mother. Or just a random friend's little sister. Bro, you know, in normal society, like when there's a minor walking around unaccompanied, like people look, like normal people, not predators, they look out for them. They're like, hey, whose kid is that? Who's that kid with? Like, hey, if you spot a lost little kid at the supermarket, you like, hey, whose kid it? Like, hey, we need to get this kid back to whoever they're supposed to be with. The kid was under the care of David's family. The kid being Celeste. So it said they were together for years, though. How did he keep that secret? And Q's got the answers to everything. He said he wasn't that close to David, as far as I know. Most of the time they talked via text. So if you talk via text, it's impossible for you to know about your brother dating the minor that you were seen in video with, right? So they haven't lived together ever since David blew up and went to Hollywood. And someone said, oh, okay. And he said, I can't even begin to imagine how traumatizing it is to find out your own brother did such vile stuff. He said he opened for David's tour once and was backstage a few times, but that's about it. The only people who could have possibly been in on it was his Discord mods. Oh, so we can assume the Discord mods are in on it. But Caleb literally being there with the minor who died. We're just gonna ignore that. And people saying, wasn't he in here? And he says, he still is, and I call him and talk to him regularly. Is this guy Caleb and he thinks he's slick? Does he think he's slick? I reckon he might think he's slick. So it says, now we know from David's own Discord, right, that Caleb opened for David more than once. And I touched on this in a previous video. Caleb opening for David in August. Caleb opening for David at the end of July. Caleb opening for David in May. And that one wasn't even long after the dismemberment. Less than 10 days after the dismemberment. April, Caleb's opening. So, yeah, a few more times. All right. Oh, boy. Here we go. Here we go. So, on May the 7th, 2026, Q's commenting about one of my videos, all right? This is just days before he posted that AMA, and that's when the mods banned Caleb from being mentioned in the subreddit, right? So look, here we go, all right? Caleb was triggered over this one, man. We know Caleb tapped in. So Q says, Traplaw Ross is effing disgusting. He's spreading lies about Kova holding hands with Celeste and some crazy stuff in this video. What the F is wrong with him? What lies? Do you want to scroll back up? What lies? What? That's your man's, right? Hey, Q, that's your man's, right? That's your man's backstage with the minor that lost her life. That's your man's, right? What's going on with that? Well, that's your man's, right? No, but I'm disgusting. I'm disgusting. What the F is wrong with me? It's crazy, right? I'm disgusting. There he is taking her backstage, and there he is with his sex song, right? So that's kind of everything that there is to know about, you know, this Q guy and the Discord and all that kind of thing, okay? But there's more posts now that are getting deleted by the new moderation teams on the Reddit, okay? They're now heavily censoring and whitewashing the subreddit, okay? So basically, we digging up some of this old stuff, right? There's people saying, why are some people defending David? I really want to know, okay? Now, use your brain right here, okay? Look at this post. What's the purpose of this post? This post is basically to point out and single out people that are defending David and admonish them, right? People saying, why are people defending David? I really want to know. Like, this is effed up, right? It said the post or comment has been identified as spreading misinformation, whether intentionally or unintentionally. That's not true. Now, I think this post would have exposed a lot of the normal people in r/DaveIdiots that are not defending David and they're not feeling people defending David. And it might be suspicious as to maybe some of the mod team has got control of the situation. And maybe some of the people that are defending David were going to get exposed in that post. It's another deleted post. Asia and Neo been lurking in the sub. A reminder not to engage in bad faith engagement and intentional provocation. Please try to contribute to the sub, then derail it. Post was not allowed, removed, right? Removed. Can't even see what it is. Okay? They didn't think I was going to be able to find the post that got... They didn't think I was going to be able to pull up the post that got deleted, huh? They didn't think Hey. This one, we don't even know what this one is, all right? It says this content breaks Reddit's TOS, all right? It could be duplicated content. But again, they purge it, right? You can't ask why people are defending David. Can't post anything in this sub without getting it removed. My posts don't even go against the rules. If it's not approved, it's not approved. You can't talk about it. So here's a post from 6 months ago discussing what was actually happening to the r/David2 subreddit at the time, and it seems awfully familiar. Okay? So people saying, warning about the r/David2 subreddit. Mods on that Reddit had privated and banned users on the Reddit for having differing opinions. People should be allowed to have differing opinions and post what they like. I just wanted to put it out there. Okay, people are saying there's rules in this sub. If they're not followed, they follow procedure. Was it a different opinion to breaking the rules? People are saying it's different opinions. That's why this sub was created. People in the David2 subreddit have been getting downvoted for just simply having a different opinion. If you make a post or comment that doesn't align with their narrative, they're quick to downvote and remove whatever you have to say. It's crazy because that subreddit was good when it first started. Now it's trash. That's why I'm over here. People are saying, was that what got you banned? They're saying, I didn't get banned, but other people have, if I'm not mistaken. The creator of this subreddit said they created this because of that becoming a common issue with the David2 subreddit. Here's 2 posts from Remy Oranga, one of the mods over this subreddit about r/David2. Okay? It says, plus, everything over there is the same thing over and over and over again because you're not allowed to have a different opinion or theory. And the ones who do are bullied into deleting whatever it is. Or they'll look up and their post has been removed for violating a rule that they didn't violate. I forgot to mention that the subreddit is also flooded with accounts that support David, which me and other people believe are bots. They came out of nowhere too fast at the same time. Almost all of those accounts are the same age and keep repeating the same thing like they're paid to say it. I most certainly believe David's team paid for bots to muddy the waters. That's one of the reasons I'm over here too. So the bots have made it to Davidiots. That's what I think. And it's so ironic that 7 months ago they were complaining about this happening on r/David2, but I think Davidiots has been basically infiltrated, right? And even the tagline, it's not really anti-David. Almost all things weird, stupid, scary, fascinating, or tedious about David and his fall. Not really scathing enough, is it? Not really scathing enough, all right? And so r/David2 mods censor and remove posts all day long, but poach content off other communities when it suits them. Okay? r/David2 is not open to unconventional takes on David and Celeste. r/Davidiots is open to all takes, no censorship, no controlling the narrative. No controlling the narrative? No controlling the narrative? Why did you take away the Koku Nux post? No censorship. Why can't we post why are people defending David? I really want to know. You're not allowed to post that. So this is what's interesting, right? This is what Remy apparently said in a deleted in one of these deleted posts as to the reason why they opened the Davidiot subreddit before. And remember, the original people that started the Davidiot subreddit are gone, and it's all new people that joined after David got arrested. So it says, this is Remy posting this. r/David2 is not open to unconventional takes on David and Celeste. r/Davidiots is open to all takes, no censorship, no controlling the narrative. Are you tired of your views and clues being suppressed, banned, and shit on by heavy-handed users and mods in other communities? Then post here. We don't think that anyone is too smart or dumb to spot something that might shine a light one way or another, and we do care about what happened to Celeste and are disturbed by the effed up societal forces that allowed what happened to Celeste to happen on a daily basis in this world. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. This person is gone. I don't know if they quit, if they got kicked, if they just got bored, if they got paid off. But this is the principles that the Davidiot subreddit was founded on. And it's just not happening no more. Now they're just deleting shit all day long. Okay? So, yeah. It's saying, I hate that people get so weird about like any theories at all on that sub. They act like it's meant to be a memoriam to the victim instead of a discussion about the David case. You literally can't theorize at all. It's disrespectful. Well, sorry, like, of course I feel very bad for the victim and his her family, but this is an extremely fascinating case with a lot of potential explanations, and I want to explore them. I'm glad this place exists. So Remy said this, thank you. All right? So we went from that r/David2, they're not open-minded. We need Davidiots, right? We need Davidiots so that we can not have anyone controlling the narrative. Yeah, we can't have anyone controlling the narrative or censoring things unless it's Caleb, but hey, hey guys, let's lay off Caleb though. This was founded on free speech and we was going to allow nobody to co-opt this community for their bidding or to push a certain narrative. But when it's Caleb, when it's poor little Caleb, no more discussion of Caleb. You can trash Celeste's family though. You can trash Celeste's family and you can victim blame. But poor little Caleb, leave him alone. So look, that's my full investigation into the reality behind the discourse going on the David subreddits. I think the subreddit's been infiltrated. It's just my opinion. These are all opinions, okay? These aren't necessarily facts that have been proven in a court of law. These are opinions, speculations. These are my opinions, all right? This is all alleged. But allegedly, in my opinion, I feel like Caleb weaseling his way into the subreddits. Why can't we talk about you, bro? You're out here putting music out publicly. You're out here looking for clout. Oh, you just don't like what we say about you. Oh, okay. So look, I'm going to keep talking about everybody involved in this case. Caleb, talk about whoever I want. David's family. All right? Hey, I'm saying, if Caleb got a problem, man, you can tell him to take it up with me, bro. Caleb, get in touch. I see you in person. We can link up. You can tell me your side of things, all right? Or you can keep on hiding and trying to manipulate the public conversation in Reddit, okay? If I'm completely wrong, all right, I just feel like this is too suspicious. I feel like this is way too suspicious. Something's going on. People are artificially controlling the subreddits. I tried to start my own subreddit at some point and then shit got weird. Some random guy was trying to help me out with it. He started acting crazy. I'm just like, bro, I don't want no parts of this, okay? But something's going on. And I would like to see somebody start another David subreddit that is fully open-minded to any theories, any information, okay? And we can use our own brains and our minds as adults to decide whether or not we agree with something rather than taking it down. Yeah, we shouldn't allow misinformation. What about if people put misinformation out, we just label it? That's cap. We know that's cap. We can all agree that's misinformation. Top comment, this is misinformation. We're not agreeing with that. What's wrong with that? But it's when people say, well, we're going to hide things. That's when one man's misinformation is another man's cover-up. Okay. Anyway, I'm done with it. I know it was a very long video. I've really wanted to dig into this for a while. Okay. Me and my researcher, okay, we've been cooking this for a little minute. There's another massive David video that I haven't been able to release from like 2 days ago. It's crazy. So hopefully I'll have that up for you guys by tomorrow. But anyway, that's my thoughts. All right. Caleb, hit my DMs, man, if you want to talk. If you're really that upset, but you are not the victim in this, buddy. Ain't no way. Okay. Rest in peace, Celeste. Justice for Celeste is the most important thing. Okay. And that's why I'm still talking about this. It's very important that we put David away if he did really do the crime that is being alleged that he did, because he needs to be kept away from everybody else. And Caleb, ain't the time for the music, bro. Ain't the time, bro. Pack it up. You might get an easel out, start painting, bro. Go do something else. You knew what you were doing. Anyway, that's it. Peace.